Let's take a look at Xbox's secret advantage over the PS5 Pro. What is up, y'all? I am Ray, and this is my channel, Xbox Ready, where we get on and we talk about Xbox stuff. The latest news, rumors, games, accessories, pretty much anything I want to talk about as long as it's about Xbox in some way. Now, I know I've done a lot of yapping about this, especially last week, but out in LA, we are still dealing with these crazy fires. I mean, the containment on the Palisades fire has gone up to like 60-ish%, but literally like an hour or two before I started filming this video, a new fire broke out north of Santa Clarita. It started at 50 acres and then jumped to now it's like at 5,000. It's crazy. So I'd really appreciate it if you can check out my description. I have different organizations linked down there that you could donate to who are currently trying to get things under control, trying to help people out and just set things right again back in LA. Big shout out to everyone who's reached out to me to check on me and my family. We are still okay. In today's upload, we're gonna talk about the secret advantage, or not so secret at this point, that the Xbox Series X has over the PS5 Pro. Some shocking news about what games Xbox is gonna port over to the Nintendo Switch, and some good news about Xbox's future in the platforming genre. Now, when it comes to the PS5 Pro, it is looked at as the undisputed king of the console gaming market right now. There's been so much buzz about this thing, both good and bad. Even before they announced it, before they revealed it, before they started selling it, we were just hearing so many new things about leaks, and the design was leaking. People were making their own renderings, which turned out to be pretty spot on. And of course, whenever there's a lot of buzz around PlayStation, whether it's a game or a console, whatever, people look to Xbox and they're like, okay, buddy, what do you got? Are you gonna have an Xbox Series X Pro or Plus, a mid-gen refresh of any kind? Phil Spencer was like, nah, we're not doing that, which in hindsight, I think was a pretty decent move, but not everyone agreed. I remember there was a big back and forth of like, oh, when Grand Theft Auto 6 comes out, that's really gonna be it for Xbox because everyone's gonna wanna play Grand Theft Auto 6 on a PlayStation 5 Pro. Of course, things are not that simple. Yes, I can acknowledge that PS5 Pro games look pretty damn good on it, sure. But is it $700 good? And now there's even more buzz about the Pro, because for all of that stink of, oh, the PS5 Pro is gonna crush Xbox, it's gonna make the Series X and especially the Series S look like donkey doo-doo, there is apparently one area that the Xbox Series X specifically outperforms the PS5 Pro in. According to Vincent Teo on Twitter, he made a very simple, straightforward video where he mentions that he discovered that just like the PS5 Pro is still limited to 32 gigs HDMI 2.1 bandwidth. 4K 120 maxes out at YUV 422, whereas the Xbox Series X 40 gigs, that's right, 8 whole gigs more bandwidth than the PS5 Pro. You're hearing it here, folks. Can do 4K 120 full RGB 444. Huh? That's pretty cool. Now, for the majority of people who aren't like obsessive over this type of thing, you're probably sitting there going like, Ray, what are you talking about, man? YUV RGB 4820 plus, like what? You're throwing out a bunch of like nonsense and letters and numbers. And basically what you have to know about this whole thing is that yes, Xbox has an advantage with the HDMI 2.1 bandwidth output. Whoop-de-doo, awesome, except it's pretty much never going to matter at all. I mean, good for Vincent for finding this out. He's generated a lot of buzz, a lot of engagement on his content. Good. Technically, the Xbox Series X would be able to display more color information than the PS5 Pro would. On the one end, it's weird that Sony wouldn't upgrade that from the regular PlayStation to the Pro, considering the price tag. On the other end, when is this ever gonna matter? Like, the more that I think about this, the more that it makes me kind of mad. Like, awesome, great. I can run RGB 444 at 4K, 120F output, whatever. But when has that ever happened? Ever in the past 4, almost 5 years I've owned my Series X. The only time that I've ever been able to achieve 120 FPS, and that's generous. I'm not able to achieve like a full 120, it's kind of variable at points, is when I crank the resolution down all the way to 1080p. And I'll tell you why this is kind of getting me mad, because awesome, my Series X can output at a max freaking thing of 4K, all of this other stuff, if the developers choose to take advantage of it, except that's not happening. That's not anywhere close to even happening. This is another instance where we kind of get a glimpse at what the Series X is truly capable of, yet we still get these headlines of, oh no, we weren't able to get 60 FPS on our game, it's only 30 FPS, but it's an artistic choice, guys, it's gonna be cool, it's still gonna be awesome. And it's got me wondering, like, dang, why? What happened? What happened to the world's most powerful console? No, I'm probably overthinking it. Is it cool that Xbox has its future, PlayStation doesn't? Sure, but what good has it done for Xbox? Has that played a factor into selling even one more Xbox console from Microsoft? No. We can broaden that up. Has performance or the best looking graphics, like the most powerful hardware, ever been a factor in the success of a console? I mean, look at the Nintendo Switch. This whole thing has me thinking, like, looking forward, how can Xbox sell consoles? What is the differentiating factor if they're gonna go down this path of no exclusive, multi-platform games, everything is an Xbox? Sure, maybe they don't really care about selling Xbox consoles, but they're still gonna be making them, and you don't make something with the intention of, oh, like, who cares if anyone buys this? No, if you're gonna invest in it, you want people to buy it. Part of me believes that Xbox consoles in the future, they're gonna cater to a more hardcore audience. Like, maybe they should go full kilter with, like, yes, this is a seriously powerful console. It's for hardcore dudes who, like, really care about HDMI 2.1 bandwidth, frame rates, resolution, max color output through RGB 444. But that would also drive up the price tag as well. And Phil Spencer has been like, no, we're not in the business of $800,000-$900,000 consoles. Part of me thinks they would be more inclined to keep something around like the Series S going forward. A more chill, casual console, but as we go into this future where cloud gaming gets a little bit more traction, a little bit more powerful, a little bit more available, that could definitely usurp an underpowered machine like the Series S. This whole thing also has me thinking, dang, brand dominance goes such a long way in swaying public perception. When I look at PlayStation versus Xbox, I can't help but draw comparisons between something like iPhone versus Android, the age-old debate on which one is better. Apple has this massive following, a super loyal fan base that no matter what they do, they're gonna upgrade their phone every year. They'll also have their fans convinced, oh yeah, the iPhone 16 has this totally innovative feature that smartphones have never seen before. And meanwhile, something like the Galaxy did that like a couple of generations ago. This whole HDMI system between the Series X and the PS5 Pro, sure, it illustrates that there are some things that the Series X can do that even a PlayStation 5 Pro can't do. And it also shows that no one gives a damn. Xbox probably doesn't even give a crap anymore. They don't care about making sure that we can take full advantage of the Series X and run Starfield at 4K, 120 FPS, RGB 444, whatever, because they are focused on bringing Starfield over to the Nintendo Switch 2, allegedly. According to our boy Extasis, man, long time no see. He claims that he has more insight on Microsoft's plans for the Switch 2. Last time we heard from Nate the Hate, who somehow knew when they were gonna reveal the Switch 2. He alleged that Microsoft is gonna be a very big supporter of the Switch 2. They want to see more Xbox games on the next-gen Switch. That for sure lined up with things that I had been hearing over my course as a content creator. And Extasis says that in addition to Master Chief Collection and Microsoft Flight Simulator, we can also expect Diablo 4, Fallout 4, and Starfield to make the jump over to Switch consoles as well. Now, sure, these are just rumors right now, but it makes sense to me, it's believable to me. As a reminder, Xbox wants to make every screen an Xbox. Nintendo's about to sell a bunch of screens with the Switch 2. Xbox already supports a few games on Switch, like Minecraft and a couple of the games that they brought over last year. A lot of these things are not a surprise. Diablo 4 on Switch 2? Why not? Diablo 3 was on the original Switch. Fallout 4? Sure, why not? It might be a little rough around the edges, might not be able to do mods, but sure, if they got Skyrim on there, they got The Witcher 3 on there, why not Fallout? Thanks to the Amazon TV show, that series is having a resurgence, and if you're not going to give us Fallout 5 to capitalize on all that, might as well make a Switch version of Fallout 4. Starfield is the one that's kind of bugging me out. For so long, I was like, this is the Xbox exclusive, the Xbox game that is going to get people excited over their consoles again. And while that game has a lot of diehard fans, it didn't exactly work out that way. We had been hearing rumors leading up to February of last year that Starfield might be one of the games they port over to PlayStation 5. Probably couldn't do it to the base Switch, the Switch 1, but I could see why they'd be interested in making a Switch 2 version. I don't know how they're gonna do it. It's like, it didn't look great when it launched on the Series X or PC. It's probably gonna look crazy on the Switch. I don't care if it's Switch 2, if it's an upgrade from the standard one. It's gonna look wild. I cannot wait to see the glitches and the crazy stuff that people encounter on it. We also know that Bethesda had a PlayStation version of this game, and then Microsoft said, no, that's canceled. It's gonna be exclusive. With the way things are looking now, they probably are like, ooh, yeah, we're gonna need you to get back on that PlayStation and Switch version of Starfield. See you Monday. Overall, like, when I look at these 5 games, it's like, do you as an Xbox fan really care if they go over the Switch? Like, is it egregious enough for you to drop your Xbox products, like cancel your subscriptions? More likely, Microsoft is gonna put that to the test themselves. They're gonna launch the stuff, and if they see a significant downturn in Xbox users, they'll probably be like, probably not the best idea. That's probably not gonna happen though. It's probably gonna remain pretty much the same, plus the new users that they get through Nintendo Switch support. But it's not all bad though, because we also got some great news regarding one of Xbox's most anticipated releases. Hollow Knight Silksong, which they showed off when they first revealed at the 2022 Xbox Showcase. They were like, check this out guys, this looks awesome. It's also coming day 1 to Game Pass. Everyone was fired up about it, and ever since then, we're in 2025 now, we've heard pretty much nothing about it. And at every Idea at Xbox Showcase that they do, people are just flooding the comments asking about Hollow Knight Silksong. We've only really heard, it was supposed to release in 2023, but then they were like, no, we gotta cook a little bit more on it. And ever since then, it's been pretty much nothing. That hasn't really changed as of today, but Matthew Griffin, who is part of Team Cherry, responded to a fan and was like, he said, yes, the game is real, progressing, and will release. Why stop there? Why not get yourself a platform to rival Nintendo? Get you a platformer like PlayStation has with Astro Bot. That's not exactly something that Xbox is known for, although they do have some really good platformers like Psychonauts. But the CEO of Moon Studios, who are the creators of Ori and the Blind Forest, that's not enough. He said they have been sitting on Banjo-Kazooie with nothing happening there, even though a really talented developer could probably make a Banjo game that could rival 3D Mario and probably sell similar numbers. Xbox doesn't really have any family-friendly titles right now, at least nothing of quality that they're known for. That's what I hope Microsoft would see in Ori, but Xbox is clearly about Halo, Gears, and Forza, and nothing else really. I'm agreeing with like 90% of what this guy is saying. Xbox could really use a platformer like I was just mentioning with Astro Bot. Xbox should probably do something with the Banjo-Kazooie IP. I'm not chomping at the bit for it, but I know a lot of people are. And having a new Banjo game could maybe do pretty well. It could sell well. I don't know if it would rival 3D Mario, but considering that Xbox is taking like a more wider net approach and not more of a specialized approach, that could be something useful that they have. The one thing I don't agree with really is the end. He's saying that, oh no, they're all about Forza, Halo, Gears. It's like, are they? Really? Haven't seen a new Gears game in a while, and Halo, we haven't seen anything about Halo Infinite for the past like 2 showcases, so it doesn't really seem like they're focused on that. Forza, maybe between Forza Horizon 5 and Motorsport, sure. But to me, it seems like Xbox has moved away from those 3. It's moved away from its like originally successful franchises. It seems to me like they're casting a wider net with like all the RTS games that they got going on, bringing over Age of Empires to consoles, having Age of Mythology, or A History Untold, single-player narrative-driven games like Indiana Jones, Hellblade 2, RPGs like Starfield. I mean, when I look back over Xbox's activity in terms of its first-party games, it's not heavy on the Gears or Halo. I guess his original point still stands, though. None of those titles I just mentioned are family-friendly. I don't really want Xbox to chase a family-friendly game. I want them more so to go back to what they used to do, like that stuff this guys talk about. Gears, Halo, like the slaying the hordes and hordes of locusts. I've talked about this on the channel before, but I really don't care about Banjo-Kazooie all that much. So for me personally, I don't think it's that important. For Xbox as a business, maybe that's different. You know, it was a very family-friendly Xbox exclusive. My buddy actually messaged me about this the other day. I would love to see Fusion Frenzy come back. I don't know if it would work in the modern era. Like, when I think about Fusion Frenzy, I think about like quintessential 2000s aesthetic. But if they ever seriously consider family-friendly party games, that would be a good candidate for sure. Anyways, guys, that's all the Xbox stuff I have to talk about today. Thanks so much for joining me for another edition of Xbox Ready. If you made it this far into the video, consider subscribing. Help me get to 200,000 subs. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.